What's going on with Coca Cola? They started a campaign to crush Muslim boycotts? Let's find out what's going on.
Coca Cola thought they could distract us with a flashy ad, hoping we'd
they're
forget
known
everything
for.
they've done. They really thought we'd just sit back and let it all slide, but they were wrong. For years, big corporations like Coca Cola have controlled the narrative, but not anymore. This time, their marketing stunt didn't just fail, it blew up in their faces.
How so?
What was supposed to redeem them backfired within hours. So what exactly went wrong? Let's dive in.
You will love this story. Today, we're diving into a hilarious yet troubling case of Coca-Cola's marketing gone wrong. The company spectacularly failed in its attempt to douse a boycott flame. Coca-Cola, with its global empire and sweet, sugary appeal, decides to tackle a boycott crisis with a new ad campaign. But not just any ad campaign. No, they went all out with a big budget production featuring a South Asian soap opera star, Sharaf Ahmed Jibo. His mission? To convince viewers that Coca-Cola should not be on their boycott list.
In this ad, Coca-Cola enlisted a famous Bangladeshi actor, Sharaf Ahmed Jiban, to convince us why Coca-Cola...
You know, it's like funny. It's not the first time this happens. Like, I often hear where like certain companies, they're using like famous actors to make, I mean, this is like a marketing strategy. Like, it's not just Coca-Cola, but like a lot of brands, they use like, especially if there's like some criticism against a certain brand, they're trying to get famous actors or celebrities involved that are looked upon by some people. And then they think, oh, their image will mix with the image of our brand. And to some individuals, like, it actually works where they see, oh, that's like my famous actor, like, I love this guy or something, right? And then they actually change their mind. But it doesn't work also with like a lot of people, right? Okay, that's actually fascinating. So what happened next?
Ahmed Jiban, to convince us why Coca-Cola shouldn't be boycotted. His message? To justify why we should keep supporting the brand. But here's the thing. This wasn't just a hit or miss. It was a major miscalculation. They thought using a popular face would win us over, but they made a big mistake. Let's take a look at the ad that set off a wave of backlash.
কিসোয়েল কোক দেবো নাকি একটা
না বাবলু ভাই এই জিনিস এখন আর খাচ্ছি না শোনেন নাই এটা তো ওই জায়গা
তো খবরটা তুমি কই পাইলা
Israel was never mentioned, only referred to as that place. The shopkeeper then convinces the customers that Israel has no connection with Coke.
আরে মিয়ারা কোক মোটেও ওই জায়গার না 138 বছর ধরে 190টা দেশে লোকে কোক খায় তুরস্কে খায় স্পেনে খায় দুবাইতে খায় আর ফিলিস্তিনে তো কোকের ফ্যাক্টরি আছে
So, what's Coca-Cola's big argument for why they shouldn't be boycotted? Apparently, it's because they're everywhere. And, get this, they even have a Palestinian factory.
But to say some product is everywhere doesn't mean that its origin is everywhere, right? It sounds maybe like a bit weird, but you can also argue that the iPhone is everywhere. There's an Apple store in every single country. And I think actually this is a great example, right? Like there's an Apple store in every country. You can buy the iPhone in Japan. Maybe they have some factories there. Allahu Alam. I'm sure they have factories abroad because some of the components actually made for the iPhone come from abroad and not from the US. And Apple is an American brand. It's based in the US, right? So even if you have like iPhone stores, Apple stores all across the globe, that doesn't mean that the iPhone, like the brand Apple, comes from everywhere. It comes from the US still, right? So yeah, this logic doesn't work. Like people that are smart will understand, right? Just like we understand here now with Apple, right? With like the iPhone, the iPad and all that, right?
It's because they're everywhere. And, get this, they even have a Palestinian factory. Seriously? That's supposed to make us forget everything else?
The so-called Palestinian factory is actually an Israeli-owned bottling company operating in an Israeli settlement in the eastern part of occupied Al-Quds, which is an illegal settlement under international law.
And guess where this so-called Palestinian factory is located? in an illegal Israeli settlement.
Exposed.
That's Coca-Cola's idea of helping Palestinians, building on stolen land. The lies aren't adding up.
I wouldn't be surprised if the people working there are Palestinians. They work under very poor conditions. They are totally underpaid and they're being, in a way, like treated like slaves or something. I would not be surprised if that's the case. I mean, when we hear already that's a illegal settlement, right? I'm pretty sure, like maybe the human rights don't really exist there, right?
That's Coca-Cola's idea of helping Palestinians, building on
May Allah
stolen
protect
land.
the brothers there and
The
sisters.
lies aren't adding up, especially when you're profiting from Israel's occupation while claiming to stand with the oppressed.
The ad was pulled faster than anyone could hit the like button, and Coca-Cola was
Did
left
this
to
actor
issue a
get
rather embarrassing
cancelled?
apology. Scott Leith, the company's VP for Global Strategic Communication, was cited by the Wall Street Journal describing it as a regrettable mistake, as he assured that the video has been removed from all platforms.
You know what would have been funny if they wouldn't have meant, like if this actor would not have mentioned the factory in Palestine for Coca-Cola, they actually would have maybe actually, like that move would have been more profitable for them, and some of the boycotts would have been lifted, or a couple of individuals, even if they are only in the thousands, would have actually decided to buy Coke anyway, right? So that's the thing, right? Like if they would not have mentioned this part with the factory in Palestine, and people did some research and maybe tweeted this on X, right? If that would not have been the case, this stunt would have been a good one for them, like in a profitable way, right? They would have made more profit, but yeah, they messed this really, really up.
The actor playing the shopkeeper, Gibbon, issued a statement emphasizing that he has not supported Israel in any way, and never will.
But Coca-Cola quickly scrambled to clean up the mess.
In which way?
They deleted the video, and an official apology followed to avoid even more backlash.
Yeah.
The actors involved, including Sharaf Ahmad Jiban, also issued statements. Yet, it was too late. People from all
cancelled.
backgrounds, regardless of religion or race, stood up. Social media exploded, slamming both Coca-Cola and the actors across multiple platforms.
Wow. Yeah, he got
The
cancelled.
comment section was flooded with criticism. 5 hours later, they re-uploaded the ad with comments disabled. In a Facebook post, Sharaf Ahmad Jiban claimed he was just doing professional work, saying Coca-Cola gave him all the information and told him to act and direct. He insisted he doesn't support Israel, but instead of slowing down the boycott, Coca-Cola only fueled it.
Wow,
The
look at
boycott
this.
spread even further, and
So
their
much
sales took
backlash.
another hit.
Allahu
The boycott
Akbar.
against Coca-Cola isn't just about a failed ad. It's about a larger backlash against US companies linked to Israel's genocide in Gaza.
Maybe next time Coca-Cola will learn not to insult our intelligence.
You know, it's like actually scary and sickening, like the influence of Israel all across the globe in this way, right? They are like a much smaller country than Germany even, or if you look at France, like that population is like not even half of that of Germany even, right? And they have so much influence all across the globe, and this is actually crazy how such a kind of small country has so much influence. This is dangerous.
We're not the kind of audience that can be swayed or silenced anymore. Corporations like Coca-Cola play a two-faced game, talking to us with one hand while funding the very forces that harm our communities with the other. This isn't just tone deaf, it's exploitation. And for companies like this, profits always come first. So what are we going to do about it? Let them sweep this under the rug with a weak apology? Absolutely not. That's not who we are. We'll hit them where it hurts.
Yeah, you have to
And
stand
their
up for
profits.
justice.
We'll keep boycotting. We'll keep raising our voices. And we'll keep holding them accountable. Boycotts matter. They send a clear message. We won't support companies that support oppression. We won't let them profit off our silence. Coca-Cola is on the wrong side of history, and we'll make sure they feel it.
Coca-Cola's ill-fated attempt to diffuse a boycott with a poorly executed ad is a textbook case of how not to handle a PR crisis.
This is a perfect example. This is a perfect example of the power our boycotts have over companies that support Israel. Together, we hold the power to create change, the power to stand firm, and the power to demand better. Let's use it with the help of Allah.
Inshallah, everything will be fine in the end, right? Yeah, may Allah protect our brothers and sisters in Palestine and grant them victory. I mean, no, but seriously, like, this is crazy, right? Like, how did they not think this through? Like, did they do this in just a single day without actually thinking about people gonna find out? Like, that was so stupid. Like, they actually started off well, and they could, like, sell it to the people, hey, we're not supporting this. But then they make such a crucial mistake by mentioning a factory that is in an illegal settlement in Palestine. And then they put this into the ad. And I'm pretty sure this actor now, he got so much backlash, he will have it even hard to get now roles in some movies, right? So this actually hurts his career a lot. Like this is the price of fame. If you're a famous individual, you have like a huge, large following, and you're well known, you have to be very careful what you put out there and what you do, because every single mistake as a famous person can be your downfall for eternity. I mean, just look at all those cases of women filing some lawsuits against dudes and stuff, right? Like, if you one time mess up as an actor, you get totally cancelled, and your career is almost over for some, right? So this is the price of fame. But you know, it's like fascinating here, because this is actually what I thought at the beginning when there was first an announcement, you should boycott this and this. Because there's really like, I always thought Coca Cola was like an American brand. I actually found out later there was a connection to Israel. I always thought it was American. And this is why I said earlier in this video, it's scary like how much influence Israel, what has a actually very, very low population. 1 second, actually let me check what's the population of Israel, because I think it's not even half of that of Germany. Wait 1 second, I'll read out the number for you. It's only 9,400,000 something people. So it's like 9.5 million almost people. That's not a lot. If you look at, for example, the population in Germany, we are right now at 84.7 million. Oh, that's not it. I was totally wrong. It's not even less than half. We have like 84 million, right? And Israel only has like 9.5 million. So it's like much smaller than Germany even. Like, how can they have so much influence across the globe? This is the scariest part. Like, such a small country and so much influence across the globe. But you know, it's like interesting. This is something that just crossed my mind. What would actually happen if Coca Cola, but then the leader of it has to be completely independent and he needs to probably go into exile? What if they actually cancel Israel and say, we are against the government there, we disagree what they're doing, free Palestine? Maybe they cannot sell Coca Cola anymore in Israel, right? But they can sell it all across the globe. But that only can work if they're totally independent. But if they're totally state-owned by Israel, what seems to be the case, right? Or at least partially. I don't know how much they have actually of the whole company. Maybe it's completely, maybe partially. But because of that, they probably can't speak up, right? Because I'm pretty sure some of the small owners of certain factories across the globe, that is not in Palestine, of course, but maybe in the US or Germany, maybe some of those companies are actually upset at the boycott and they would love to be independent from Israel. But by law, by rights, they can't, I guess. So that's why I'm not condemning every single one working at the company. I would say that some people are actually not even aware of this, but it's still bad. Like, imagine you're actually feeding into a killing machine and you're not even aware of it. So I think there needs to be some awareness, and the boycotts, they do have some effect. We already see that there's some economic pressure on Israel, and their advances are a bit slower than they would be if there wasn't a boycott, right? So the boycotts are actually slowing them down a bit, but it's not crushing yet, right? Maybe we have late consequences. Like maybe in 20 years, Israel will have some crash down economically, but this can take 10 or 20 years even. We don't know. Allahu alam. But yeah, at first I was just like, in this ad, I had no clue that there was a connection with Coca Cola to Israel. I found out later and I was like, oh, I have to be careful here. But yeah, may Allah protect the brothers in Palestine. And yeah, this is horrible. I mean, like, may Allah protect them, grant them victory, safety, and give everyone what they deserve. I mean, because this is terrible. I'm tired of seeing those clips of like children hurt and stuff. Like, I can't even look at this anymore. Like, my heart is already damaged. I don't want to see this anymore. So yeah, may Allah give them a fast victory. I mean, But yeah, if you guys are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more content. If you found this video informative, please don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. And I will see you guys next time, inshallah.